Hi, this is Tennille King, and I'd like to take Complete Studio Manager for Bento and show you how to use some of the tracking reports that I've included. These are really just helpful for you to analyze and know your business a little bit better. When you take a look at the reports that were included, let's take a look at the session fee tracking first. You can do this for any given time period, monthly, quarterly, annually, however often you would like to examine and analyze this data. So basically what I'll do is show you how to find out what type of session, how many, that's what your count, how many there were, what the subtotal of all of those sessions were for your session fees, and what the average of your session fee is. So to do that, we'll need to head over into Bento, into the invoicing area, and we're going to look for Smart Collections for your session fee income. You're going to, you can see I already have Edit Smart Collection selected, and we're going to find out the total for session fee income. Let's say we're doing this for the year 2011, so I've entered January 1st, 2011 to December 31st of 2011. We hit enter, and if this sample database had information already in it, you would then get a list of all of the session fee entries that you made for 2011. To find out how many, you would come to your summary row at the bottom and choose count, and you would list a number, and that would show you how many listings you have for the number of session fees total that were paid. And you would come to your, you would come over here to count all session fees. Let's say you had 150 session fees. So you would put 150 in the count. To find your subtotal in your average order, you would come back to the subtotal, go down to your summary row, and click Sum. That would give you the number for your subtotal. So all of your session fees for 2011, that's the total of your session fees for all session fees. If you want to find out the average order, you would go back down to the summary row here and choose average. It would give you the amount here, and you would go back to that form and fill in your average order. Now, if you want to do this based on what type of session that you had, you can come back over to your Smart Collections. You can edit this Smart Collection. You want to choose the session category that is equal to, let's do maternity as an example, for 2011, January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2011. This date range can be monthly, quarterly, annually, however you want to do it. You would hit enter. You now have a list of all of your maternity sessions for 2011. You can add a criteria that you want the income account to be equal to session fee income. Okay? Hit enter. It's now going to list only session fee income, only maternity for all of 2011. You can go back to your tracking report. Again, down here, choose count. It would tell you the number of maternity session fees you took in for 2011. You would write the number of maternity session fees. You would go back to your subtotal, use sum to find out your subtotal, and use average to find out your session fee average. You go back and report that. So the number of maternity session fees, what the total amount of maternity session fees you took in, and the average for those maternity session fees. And most of the time, if your session fee is the same, that average is going to be equal to one session fee. You can do this for every category simply by coming back here, keep session fee income for 2011, and just choose your category, hit enter. You would receive a new list of all of the school, in this case, session fee incomes for 2011. You could go back to that tracking form and fill that in for all of them. When this is helpful is if you're looking at this monthly, quarterly, annually, compare it to the previous quarter or the previous months or the previous years and see, are your numbers going up or down? Are you doing more newborn sessions or less? Are you having higher numbers of sessions for high school seniors or less? And then take a look at that and figure out why. This just helps you track that information and see any changes and look for what you want to do differently in your business based on the data that you're accumulating. Down here at the bottom, you can also figure out if you care to track this information. Some people do and some people don't. You can find out where your session or how your session fee payments are being made. So maybe you want to decide, is it worth still offering American Express payments? You could come on back over to Bento and you could use the payment type, Smart Collection, edit that Smart Collection, make your payment type equal to American Express for the date range of January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2011. You want to make sure that the type, that since we're doing session fees, you want to make sure that the income account is equal to session fee income. Hit enter. It's going to pull up any session fee income that you had during 2011 that was paid by American Express. You can go back to your tracking form and enter the values there on your American Express line. You can do that for all forms of payment if you like. This may help you see totally how many people are paying with credit cards, is anyone using cash or check, and that can help you evaluate any changes you might need to make in your credit card processing or payment processing areas. Also in these tracking reports is an order tracking, exactly the same situation where we're going to sort the orders instead of the session fee income. Same thing on the payments. You choose your count, your subtotal, and your average order. And just to show you, I'll give you an example since we're doing orders. Let's go back to order income. We've got order income selected for 2011. We would hit enter. You would have your subtotal, your count, your total of your totals would always, be in your summary row. Come back for all orders. You would be able to enter that information just the same as session fee tracking. And if you wanted to get specific about what type of session it was, go back to session category. Let's say we're doing maternity orders for 2011 and it's order income now instead of session fee income. Hit enter, it will list it. You'll be able to do your count. You'll be able to do your total and your average orders here, just as you did for the session fees. Same thing. At the bottom for the payments, just like we went to payment type before, you would have American Express as your example for 2011. Change this to order income, hit return, and now all of that would be listed. You could get your counts and you could get your sums and your averages to come back to this order tracking. Fill that in the same way. The last one for tracking was just a miscellaneous tracking to go through. You may want to find out how many new referral credits that you had, how many were redeemed. Again, you would use your Smart Collections for referral program. And maybe, let's take a look here. We want to find out how many new referral credits were earned in 2011. Now this says amount and average amount. This is only going to work if you use a dollar value. If you offer something different like an 8x10 or something else, you can just find out the total on here. So you can go new referrals by date range, edit that Smart Collection, We want to find anything created from January 1st, 2011 to December 31st, 2011. Hit enter. If you come down here, we want to make sure we show that summary row. You'd get a count. That's going to tell you if you have 55 listed, you had 55 new referrals. If your reward was a dollar amount, you could come down and get the sum for that, and you could enter the total and the averages there. If you want to look at redeemed referral credits, go down to your redeemed referrals by date range, edit that smart collection. January 1st, 2011, December 31st, 2011. Hit enter. Come down to your summary row, choose your count. If your reward is numerical, you can choose your average and sum there. Take that over here to the tracking report. Compare. If you're looking at first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, do you get more referrals during any certain quarter of the year? And if you get new referrals, more of them during the first quarter than you do during the fourth quarter, why is that so? Or whatever the case might be, find out how often are you noticing a pattern in when the referral credits are redeemed, and if you are, why? All of these tracking forms and reports are basically just for you to take a look at and say why, and figure out why, and if it's a good answer or a maybe not so good answer, what can you change in your business practices to make those numbers be where you want them to be. So you can track all the various information here by using the smart collections, using your summary row and table view, and bringing that information back to the tracking forms.